All right. Well, everyone, welcome back. It's been a while since our last upload/live stream. We were both on vacation, but now we're back after the draft and free agency to talk about everything that went on. So there's gonna be a lot to talk about today. I think we should get right into it.
Definitely, yeah.
All right. So we're gonna start off with draft recap and our draft grades for the whole first round. Unless you want to go farther.
No, we can just do the first round.
Yeah.
Maybe a couple second round guys,
Yeah.
but that's about it.
Then we'll probably go into draft winners and losers, and then go into some summer league stuff because that's started now that it's the 9th. All right. Well, should we kick off with draft grades?
Yeah, let's go ahead.
All right. Well, of course, the Pistons, Cade Cunningham. That's an A+. So
Yeah.
I don't see what else it would be. Best player in the draft, even though his debut wasn't exactly the best. All right. 2, the Rockets took Jalen Green. I gave that an A+ as well because I just think he's the second best player easily in the draft class.
Yeah, I'll give him an A.
I know you
Not
like
an A
Mobley
plus. I like Mobley a little more. He did outplay Mobley though.
more. He did. His debut was
But big
crazy.
men can develop a little differently sometimes.
Yeah.
So I
Some
don't care too much about that.
Some dude said it best, like, without a good point guard, being a young big, it's kind of hard to
Especially
just
in Summer
dominate.
League, who is his point guard in Summer League? Some dude who doesn't play ever.
I might have to look up the summer league roster for him real quick. 'Cause
It's probably some guy who plays in the G League,
yeah.
and that doesn't make Mobley's job easy. While Jalen Green has the ball in his hands, and he can do anything the whole time.
Isaac Okoro was, and then whoever B Thomas had no clue. Who went one for 10 from the field.
That's all you
that
gotta-
says it all right there.
That's all you gotta know.
Yeah. All right. And then third, Mobley. I gave Mobley an A+ again. I think they're the top 3 players in the class. We have them in different orders, but I think Mobley is going to be one of the best players in the draft class.
A+ for sure.
Yeah. All right. Now we'll get to some different things like the Raptors. Okay. Scotty Barnes, I think, is a great player. And again, these grades don't say how good we think the player is, but it might be like the fit with the team. I gave Scotty Barnes a B because I think Jalen Suggs would be a better fit for the Raptors. And I think they should have went Jalen Suggs at 4. I still think Scotty's a good player, but I think Jalen Suggs would have been better.
I give the Raptors an A+ because I think he could be the best out of their wings. They have OG. I like OG, but Scotty being the best out of them could just make those guys expandable to get a point guard in the future. And I don't think they're not obviously not a contender or anything.
Yeah.
So I think long term that's the best pick because I think he's going to be better than Suggs. I haven't been a Suggs fan. I mean he's good, but
yeah,
A+ for me.
All right. Magic at 5. They took Jalen Suggs. I gave it a B- just because of how crowded that backcourt is. I think you have to move either at least one, maybe 2 of those guards. Probably just one though, to actually get Suggs to be at his best. Again, he's probably the second best behind Markelle, if not the best already out of all those guards. So I just think you got to find him room in that backcourt to make it work and get the best out of him that you can.
Yeah, I'll also give it a B because it's crazy that before the draft we thought they would be able to get Scotty and potentially Kuminga.
And have
2
that.
long wings, and they got Suggs and Wagner, but
Yeah, they obviously went best player available with Suggs.
yeah, I mean you can't not pick Jalen Suggs in that situation.
I mean,
so
I wish they didn't. I want him dropped to the Thunder at 6, but that's a whole nother story. All right, the Thunder at 6. Australian point guard Josh Giddey. Oh, that was hard to watch on draft night. I gave it a C+ just because his upside, and with the Kemba Walker buyout, he'll likely be starting, if not coming off probably like 6 man off the bench. I think he's going to start though. I don't know. Giddey's an interesting prospect. I haven't watched a lot of him. I still think he's a good player. And of course, his debut last night got shortened with an ankle sprain. So we'll have to wait to see what we get with Josh Giddey. I gave it a C+.
I'll give it a B-. I like Giddey. 6 was a surprise.
Yeah.
I did not think you guys were going to pick him. I thought it was definitely going to be Kuminga.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a bad pick. but I don't know. There could have been a couple better guys there.
Yeah,
But his potential, you said, it's pretty high.
crazy.
And with the Thunder having so many picks, they can do that.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's the thing. The reason why I gave him a C plus because the players down the board like Kuminga or even a James Bouknight, even though 6 for Bouknight might be a little high, I still think he's a better player right now.
I agree.
All right, the Warriors at 7 took Jonathan Kuminga. I gave that a B plus. I think he was the best player on the board there, and he probably was the best player on the board after Suggs. But the fit again, I just think is weird with a team that's probably looking to win now. Trying to fit in a rookie like Jonathan Kuminga could be difficult, even though he'll be very good on the defensive end. His offense could be troublesome to work around with his limited jump shooting. And that's why I just think he might not be as good of a fit with the Warriors.
I'll give him. I think it's about an A minus for me. I like Kuminga, and I think the Warriors could develop him for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, he's a good defender. Might not be like the most productive right away on a team that's probably trying to contend, but at the same time, you got to also build for your future a little bit because those guys are getting up there in age, and I think he could help in the near future pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's the highest ceiling out of all these guys. That they're available.
Mm-hmm. All right, ready to go on to Magic at 8?
Yeah.
All right. Well, they took Franz Wagner. I gave it a B again. I think he's just a solid player that'll fill a role for him on the wing. Again, he can kind of do almost everything. Just not he can't do one thing like great, but he can do everything pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
Solid playmaker, solid shooter, solid defender. What is he? 6'9", I think. Yeah, fairly lengthy. I just think he'll be a solid player for the Magic. Gave it an average grade of like a B.
Yeah, I'll give it a B minus. Same thing. Wasn't the best pick, but they could have done worse.
Yeah, they could have done a lot worse. All right. The Kings at 9. They took Davion Mitchell out of Baylor. I gave that a C plus just because I don't see how he fits in with where their team currently is. I think they should have gone for more of a high ceiling player as they're looking to find a star to put next to De'Aaron Fox. Mitchell's a great player. I just don't think he's the right pick at 9 for the Kings.
Yeah, I like Davion. I didn't at first. I kind of he grew on me. Yeah, that one didn't make much sense to me with De'Aaron, Tyrese. Mm-hmm. They still have Buddy for now, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of odd, but I think Davion he's going to be a really good player.
Yeah.
But it's going to make them have to make a decision on one of their guys to move in the future.
Yeah, the fit is the biggest question for me, and I'm guessing that's the same for you.
Yeah.
All right. This was originally the Pelicans pick, but they traded to the Grizzlies in the Valanciunas trade. The Grizzlies took Zaire Williams. I gave that a D. I just think that's way too early for someone as boom or bust as Zaire. Just way too early.
I'll give him a C plus. Because I don't know, he could pan out and be amazing with them, but. Yeah, 10 was a reach. I was expecting him to go probably more in the lower teens, the 18, the higher teens, the 18, 19 range. But they must have seen something, saw something in him.
And you never know. Again, this is all like current speculation. Never know how he
went through some stuff in college. I'm pretty sure some personal stuff happened and COVID.
Yeah.
So like maybe that affected him, and I don't know. We'll see.
All right, we got now the Hornets at 11?
Yeah.
They took James Bouknight. I gave it an A. I think Bouknight's great value at 11. Again, I think he probably should have gone over some people like maybe Franz, Davion, and Zaire. So I just think the Hornets getting Bouknight at 11 is incredible value and a great piece to put next to LaMelo on the wing.
I agree. A.
All right, you want to go on then? I'm going to let you lead off with this one as a Spurs fan with Josh Primo.
Yeah. So, my top 3 guys were all on the board, and so were my next 7 guys. And, we didn't pick any of them. We picked Joshua Primo, who we had 30th in our mock draft, and I didn't even know who that was. We picked him mostly because he was the best.
Yeah, I knew who he was. I knew he was a solid guard at Alabama on the wing, but
I didn't watch a single highlight of him before the draft because we had 12th pick and he was supposed to be a
Late pick, late first round pick. Yeah.
maybe even second round.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I was shocked when it happened. Although it's growing on me because
He didn't look bad in Sacramento.
His ceiling is very high,
Mhm.
and I don't think he was used properly at Alabama because we had him running a point guard in the
Mhm.
Salt Lake City. What do you call it?
Summer League.
He was getting buckets. He was looking good. I want to see what he can do in Vegas, but
Yeah.
long term, this could be a great pick. But right now, we're not contending, so it makes sense. But I
Mhm.
mean, Kai Jones,
Yeah.
Jalen Johnson, Sengun.
Yeah, that was the Kai Jones. We'll get to that later. That was
I'm not going to give this one a grade.
You're not going to
I
give it a
don't-
grade.
I don't want to.
All right, well, I will. I gave it a D again for all the same reasons of him possibly dropping to the second round. I don't know what pick the Spurs had. Was it like 40 something?
41.
He probably wouldn't have dropped that far because of his potential, but taking him at 12 again, you probably could have traded down with like the Wizards or even the Thunder or the Knicks.
I will say
and
this.
still gotten him.
I heard the Thunder were possibly planning on selecting him at 16.
Ooh.
And that's why you guys traded that pick away.
I would've been-
because you wanted him at 16, then we took him off, and then you made a trade right after that.
Oh, that would have been interesting. Again, I don't know if I would have been the happiest with Primo at 16, but
Shea and Primo, man, that would have
two
been
Canadians,
two Canadians
Two
that
6
play
foot-
similar.
two 6'6" Canadians.
Yeah, that would have been nice.
All right. Pacers took Chris Duarte. I gave it a B. Again, I think this confirms that they're not going to trade Miles Turner, at least not immediately, and try to maybe contend. And I guess I shouldn't say contend, but try to compete in the East. Again, he's a dude who'll help you win now. He's already 24. Great shooter. Again, he's playing in the Summer League right now. When I checked, he was like 3 of 4 from 3 or something like that. Great shooter. I think he'll fit the Pacers well. Gave it a B.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give it a C plus. It's an pick to me. I mean, he's good, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, 24 years old.
Yeah.
He actually is 24.
Yeah. He's
and
24.
they picked him in the lottery. I mean,
Mhm.
that makes Obi Toppin look young, man. So I don't know.
He's the same age as 7-year veteran Devin Booker. Like,
Well, the thing is like the Pacers can make the playoff spot
Yeah.
possibly, but they're not ever going to contend with this team.
mhm.
Contend.
Yeah.
So I don't see what drafting a 24-year-old win now guy would do,
Yeah.
unless you're a team that will be contending. So I
Mhm.
mean, they could have taken a lot of guys with higher upside than him, but
Yeah.
that's why I'll give it a C plus.
All right. Next is the Warriors at 14. They took Moses Moody. I gave it an A again. Great value at that pick. People were saying Moses Moody could have gone at 7 to the Warriors. Having him drop to 14 again, he can help them right now as a 3-and-D wing, and he still has a fairly high ceiling. I think Moody's a great pick for the Warriors.
I'll give it an A plus. I think he can definitely help them now with the shooting
Mhm.
off the bench. He's going to be a good player. I'll definitely give them an A plus for that one because at 14, that's a great
Yeah.
pick.
All right, 15, the Washington Wizards took Corey Kispert out of Gonzaga. Again, I think Kispert is a very solid NBA player, but to the Wizards, it's just not a good move for the Wizards.
Doesn't make sense.
Yeah. They're a team that either needs to,
They need to pick a direction.
they need to trade Bradley Beal immediately
They
and lose as many games as possible.
They're trying to say that they traded Westbrook to help keep Beal, like to free up cap in the future. But I mean, I don't really think anybody wants to go to Washington and play with Beal. Not a bad thing.
Mhm.
People would love to play with Beal, but they don't want to go to his team and play
Exactly.
with him because he's never won. So
If I was the Wizards, I'd ship off Bradley Beal right away.
I would too. I'd rebuild, and,
Yeah.
and then that Kispert pick makes 0 sense.
Yeah, because
So-
Kispert's ceiling is not high at all. He is probably at his best right now, currently.
Yeah, I'll give him a D. I'll give him a D plus for that.
I gave him a C just because I think Kispert's a solid player.
I do too. I just think it's an awful pick.
Yeah,
for the
it's a terrible
Wizards.
pick for the Wizards.
That's a pick the Warriors could make, and it
Mhm.
would make a lot of sense.
Yeah. See, again, at that 15 pick, I would have loved to see a Jalen Johnson, like
Yeah, that would've
especially
made a lot of sense.
after his summer league debut. He was
Yeah.
solid. All right. The Rocket traded up with the Thunder at 16 to select Alperen Sengun. And I'm going to give I wrote down a B plus, but I'm going to move it up to a A minus because, man, he is so good on the offensive end. His footwork is incredible. Again, he's a little raw, but his upside is crazy, and he's easily the second best big in the class.
Yeah, it's an A for me.
Mhm.
I love him. I hope the Rockets don't ruin him.
Yeah. I mean, he was living at the free throw line yesterday.
He was talking to that ball.
Yeah. All right. 17. Again, this was originally the Grizzlies pick, but they traded to the Pelicans, and they took Trey Murphy. Again, I gave that a B, and I think it gives them exactly what they need with Zion, a dude who can space the floor and play defense. Great 3-and-D player with Trey Murphy.
Yeah, I'll give it a B minus. It's not a bad pick.
Yeah.
Could have been, again, still with Jalen Johnson and them on the board.
Mhm.
Kai Jones.
Yeah.
Kai Jones and Zion would have been fun. I'll give it a B minus.
All right.
It's not bad.
I don't even want to talk about this next pick. I guess I will. Okay. The Thunder took Florida guard Trey Mann. I give that a C. He was horrendous in his debut yesterday. Atrocious. Like, again, I
Cannot emphasize enough how bad he was.
he was 3 of 14 from the field. Didn't make a three. I don't even want to talk about it anymore. I gave it a C.
About it. I'll give it a D. Not a D plus. A D. Just because I never liked Trey Mann. Saw him on TikTok a couple too many times. I think he could be a player out of the league.
Thanks.
I'm sorry. I could see him be a backup point guard one day.
I mean, again, it's like, look who's on the board still. The Thunder, we still don't have a single center on our roster.
And
Actually, no, we do have a center because we traded for Derek Favors. So we have one center on our roster who's old and makes too much money.
True.
And Kai Jones was on the board.
Yeah.
So, honestly, I should change this right now to an F, which I'm going to. Trey Mann was horrendous, and that was a horrendous pick.
First F.
I hope Sam Presti knows what he's doing, because if he doesn't, and Kai Jones turns out to be incredible, I'm going to look back on this draft and contemplate, like, just continuously stubbing my toe on a door or something. Like, all right, let's move on. This one stings. You want to start, or you want me to start?
He saw you.
All right. At 19, the Hornets traded up with the Knicks, and they took Kai Jones at 19. One pick after the Thunder, they take a big who might have the highest potential, not named Evan Mobley and Alperen Sengun. It hurts every time.
Yeah. We'll get into him probably with the summer league.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to give that one an A plus because I love Kai Jones. And picking him at 19 when they already had a pick earlier,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even if he ends up not being great, that doesn't hurt them at all.
I also gave it an A plus.
But I think he could be great. 19th, dude.
Mhm.
That's a great pick.
Yeah, we have a couple great picks back to back here.
Back to back to back.
Mm-hmm. All right, the Hawks, Jalen Johnson,
Great pick.
great pick, exactly.
Phenomenal.
It allows them to move on from Cam Reddish if they decide to do that, which I think they will. And I gave it an A. It could be an A plus. His summer league debut was incredible.
What did he have?
20 and 10. He did have like
Assists or rebounds?
rebounds.
He can throw.
Yeah, you never know.
He's a
And he had
kinda.
an insane block, an insane chase down block. But yeah, I'll say A again. It could be an A plus, but Jalen Johnson to the Hawks at 20, insane value.
Yeah, I'll give him an A as well. You said it all. Yeah, that was a good pick.
All right. The Knicks again traded down, and the Clippers traded up to select Keon Johnson. Again, very high ceiling player, but very good. Probably should have been been a lottery pick.
Yeah, he should have.
Definitely should have been. Again, highest vertical, 48 inches, combine record.
Yeah.
I gave it an A. I think he'll be a great player right now, and I think he'll be even better like in the future.
Yeah, I'll give it an A, but I also want to talk about the Knicks' thought process
Mhm.
throughout this. So they moved down and got
And Quentin Grimes,
the 25th pick, and I believe 2 more second rounds, right? Or maybe one.
No, the 2 seconds, I think 1 second they traded down with the
And then I
Thunder.
think they got like a future second.
Yeah.
So they got like an extra pick out of this, but they passed up on Kai Jones and Keon Johnson, who they picked for those two, technically. I mean, he was the other team.
Yeah.
For Quentin Grimes. And then who was their second round pick?
I
don't even know.
think it was future seconds because
No, Miles McBride. So they they passed up on Kai Jones and
passed up on
Keon
a
Johnson for Quentin Grimes and McBride. And then like 1 or 2 future second round picks.
Yeah. They passed up on a dude who looks like he plays a little like Giannis, and Keon Johnson could be a great wing in the NBA.
Like I get trying to stack future assets, but when these guys are there, that's what you stack the assets for.
Yeah.
And I think they kind of, dude, if they would have had Kai Jones and Keon at 19 and 21, that's an A+ draft.
I wish I had those videos from draft night. The suspected Keon pick with our friend who's a Knicks fan.
He was very excited.
All right. Pacers at 22. Again, this pick was traded all over the place, I think.
Yeah.
It went to the Lakers, to the Wizards, and then to the Pacers. Pacers took Isaiah Jackson. Again, he's a developmental big out of Kentucky. I gave it a B. I just think it's a solid pick. I don't know where he's going to fit
Did
right
he
away.
end up at the Pacers?
Yeah, he's in Indiana.
Okay, I'm going to give that a D-.
Really?
I'm sorry, not hate. I don't like Isaiah Jackson that much. I think he's not that good.
Yeah.
And they also have plenty of big men.
Miles Turner, Goga or whatever, and then
they have Sabonis.
oh yeah,
He's not necessarily center, but still.
yeah.
I don't know. I don't like that pick. D-.
I think his ceiling makes it a little higher. That's why I put it at a
His
B.
ceiling is fine, but he's never gonna have a jump shot.
It depends on if he actually like gets minutes in the NBA.
I think his ceiling is like a worse Clint Capella.
Probably.
He's kind of just gonna be a guy who can jump, get you rebounds, blocks.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like Jakob Poeltl to me. I would not take Jakob that high.
All right, the Rockets have back-to-back picks here. Their first one was Usman Garuba, the power forward or center, whatever you want to call him, out of Spain. I gave it a B. Again, I just think it's a solid pick. It all depends on where he actually fits in with the Rockets.
I'll give him an A-. I like Garuba. He's a great defender.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, did you watch any of that Spain-USA Olympic game?
I did not, but I have seen some stuff about his defense and him showing
Yeah.
possible capability of a three-point shot, which
Well, I don't see that because he was bricking everything. But I mean, his defense alone, and I mean, the guys they already drafted on the offense,
Yeah.
they don't need a scorer.
Mhm.
The Rockets have plenty of that. They need a defender, and that's a good pick at 23.
Yeah. All right, and then their second pick was Josh Christopher, guard out of Arizona State. Yeah, I give it a B+ again. I think it's just a solid pick, pretty good value for Josh Christopher. He might have dropped farther, but
Yeah, I'll give it a C+. A lot of people love the fact that he was friends and teammates with Jalen Green, but I don't think that matters at all.
yeah.
He wasn't that good. Did he even like play at Arizona State?
Yeah, he did.
Like I know he like would have started. Like I feel like he was hurt or something, but
I mean,
I don't think he had like a crazy year or anything. Because wasn't he supposed to be a pretty high pick?
I don't know for sure. I know he is not.
Because I don't know. I watched a couple games and he wasn't playing in them.
He averaged 14 a game. 14.
How many games?
15.
15.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, he could be pretty good, but
43% from the field, 30% from three,
that's not good. No.
80% from the line.
I think it's not a bad pick. It's not a great pick.
Again, I
It's
think,
fine in the middle.
yeah, it's a developmental pick for the Rockets.
Yeah, they have. Yeah.
Possibly provide him some scoring off the bench in the future. All right, the Knicks finally make a selection, and it's Quentin Grimes out of Houston. Looking back at this, Quentin's a solid player, but what they could have had at 19, and 21, exchange that for Quentin Grimes in future seconds. It's just,
I mean, if they would have gotten some firsts out of that,
Yeah.
then maybe. But still, I mean, what first is going to be better than these guys at
Exactly.
21.
Exactly. I had it as a B, but I'm gonna drop it to a C because of what they missed out on with Kai Jones and Keon.
I'll give it a C plus. I don't know if he'll ever really contribute too much for the
Yeah.
Knicks. They have Kemba now.
Mm-hmm.
They got Quickly. They got RJ. I mean, they got some solid guards.
Yeah. All right.
He's not a bad player though.
Yeah, no. He's a solid player, but it just depends on where he fits with the Knicks. All right. The Nuggets at 26 took Nah'Shon Highland. I think he was from. I want to say no. It's not Vanderbilt. It's not Vanderbilt. It's somewhere. I have no clue. But yeah, Nah'Shon Highland again. He was a riser. VCU. He was a riser in this draft. He was showed off at the combine, and that's why he ended up getting selected this high. I'm pretty sure he was a great shooter in the drills and stuff that they had at the combine. I gave it a B. Again, it gives him some guard depth. With Jamal Murray's going to miss significant time next year.
Probably, yeah.
So maybe they can get someone with him at the 1.
They did resign. Never mind. I'm not going to speak about that.
What?
Nothing.
All right.
I'll give it a. I don't know how much I like the combine. The combine can be tricky because all it takes is like a really good day,
Yeah.
like just a lucky, like you just have it that day.
Mm-hmm.
That you're usually not that good, but you could be good one day.
The combine's only 1 day for the
No,
NBA?
it's not. I don't know. I'll give it a C plus again. It's not a bad pick. I don't know. I didn't really follow him that much at VCU, obviously.
Yeah.
So I don't know much about him. But
I think it would have been better if they went with a Cam Thomas because he was
or
still
even
on the board.
or even a Jaden Springer.
Yeah.
I mean, one of those guys.
Mhm.
Definitely though.
Speaking of Cam Thomas, that's who the Nets took at 27. I give that an A minus. I think
Yeah.
Cam Thomas can help them right away with his scoring ability and his shooting ability.
Yeah, that's a good pick. I'll give it a B plus.
All right, 76ers, they took Jaden Springer out of Tennessee. I gave it a B minus again. I don't know how much he's actually going to play on a team that's trying to compete. I think he's a solid player. Again, he shot 43% from 3 at Tennessee. I don't know how many threes he actually took, but he could be solid for him.
Yeah. I thought I saw somewhere that he's training under the same guy as Ben Simmons. Just terrifying. or maybe it was Markelle Fultz. Either way,
That jump shot might not be good then.
neither one of those things are a good thing. And and it's the Sixers. Just saying. I'll give it a C plus. I think he could be good as long as he's not going under the same plan as Markelle or Ben Simmons.
Yeah. All right. The Nets up again at 29, and they took Day'Ron Sharpe out of UNC. That gives them a big, I guess. I mean, what do they have? DeAndre Jordan.
They got Claxton.
Oh, Claxton, yeah.
I like Claxton.
Again, I don't know if he's going to play much his first year, maybe even his first 2 years. He could be solid for him, depending on how they develop him. I gave it a B.
I'll give it a D plus. He wasn't even that good in North Carolina, and I feel like he could be one of those guys that's playing in the summer league for a long time.
Jimmer.
Yeah,
Jimmer, but a big and
yeah, I
can't
like
shoot.
I like Jimmer.
All right, and then the final pick was made by the Grizzlies in a trade that they got in a trade from the Jazz in, I don't know how to pronounce that, Santi Aldama. I have no clue who that dude is, so I'm not even gonna give a grade.
I don't either, so I don't want to say anything about him because I've never seen him play basketball.
Exactly. I'm pretty sure he was an overseas dude. I think.
I feel like they could have just drafted Isaiah Todd.
Exactly.
Or Jeremiah Robinson Earl.
He was good in his
love
Thunder
that pick
debut.
for the
He
Thunder.
was good in his Thunder debut.
I
All
love
right,
that
we
pick.
want to talk about some of those
We
second
can talk
round
about
picks.
Earl and Todd. Yeah.
I like Earl again. I can see him performing in a similar way, not like play wise, like the same way they play, but he's from Villanova, so I think he could have the impact of like a Jalen Brunson. He'll just be a solid bench player for
He
you.
knows how to play
Mhm.
and win.
Yeah.
I like JT Thor to the Hornets as
Mhm.
well. Dang, the Hornets do great. The Bulls, Ao,
Ayo, yeah.
he's balling up here.
Mhm.
I think. Wieskamp for the Spurs. I like that pick. He hasn't been great though in the summer league.
I like Livers to the Pistons.
Delano Banton
Nebraska represent.
had a rough debut, but he was hanging out with Drake, which is cool. Nets drafted Zagorowski. Pathetic pick.
Not going to talk
That
about.
was funny.
Not going to talk about
I don't
Sharif
like
Cooper to the
Creighton.
Hawks.
Sharif Cooper.
Sharif-
Yeah, okay, I'll talk about that.
Sharif Cooper was probably maybe the third best point guard in the draft.
No. Wrong.
Well, I guess
I would have taken Zagorowski over.
Really, you don't like Sharif Cooper? I shouldn't say third best point guard because that's
Nah,
based on
I'm
ESPN.
playing.
That's ESPN's rankings because ESPN had Josh Giddey as a shooting guard and stuff like that, which he's not going to be a shooting guard. So, but Sharif Cooper is very talented.
Looking
He's
at this
un-
Nets pick. Why did the Nets pick Zagorowski? I don't mind Zagorowski at all, but that doesn't make sense for the Nets. Like they could have picked a if they wanted to, they could have gotten a different guy. Really,
Mm-hmm.
I like maybe they take Bassey out of Western Kentucky. I like him. Maybe BJ Boston, dude.
For the Nets, I don't think
Why not?
he wouldn't see the floor.
Is
He wouldn't
Zagorowski going to
develop.
see the floor?
No, but if he does, if Zagorowski does have to actually play, he'd do better than BJ Boston. I have a
That's
feeling.
true. That is true.
BJ Boston was horrendous at Kentucky.
Zagorowski's probably a little more better now, but BJ
Yeah.
Boston's
In the
ceiling
future,
is- he has a ceiling. I don't know what it is. Okay, you want to talk about Sharif Cooper? I'll talk about Sharif Cooper.
I like Sharif Cooper, even though he's undersized. I like him. It fits the Hawks. Even it doesn't really fit the Hawks because that's what they have in Trae Young, and he won't reach Trae Young's level like at all. But
He won't. No.
I feel like they should have gone with a guard who can actually a guard who can guard.
Yeah. You
Because
mean a guard that can shoot and play defense? Wow. Yep. Third best point guard right
okay,
now.
not third. Okay, I'm sorry. I was looking at the ESPN rankings. That's what
Spurs
ESPN.
Timberwolves at 6:00 today, fellas.
Okay.
No, Sharif Cooper.
He's talented. He's a playmaker. Sharif Cooper is talented, but he's basically Trae Young without a jump shot.
Yeah, which is like
What they don't need, but he's still a
no.
talented
What is
player.
Trae Young without a jump shot
A playmaker.
passer?
Yeah.
and a floater
Okay.
guy? Wait,
Cooper,
I'm not off of this.
Sharif Cooper is still talented.
Maybe.
Maybe. All right. Continue on.
Okay. I'm just gonna say, I was on TikTok yesterday,
Oh my God.
and,
Stop-
and
no,
I
stop
saw
talking.
I saw Sharif Cooper highlights, and it was him getting crossed and broke, and then he goes down after that possession, like right after that, and he starts dribbling, making these tough moves. He gets open for a midi, and he just airballs it, all in the same possession. And I'm like, dude, that's tough. Like he might be worse than Trae Young at defense.
One TikTok makes a player.
It's the only highlights I've seen of him in summer league. I mean, yeah, I've seen most of these guys' highlights. I saw Delano Banton summer league highlights. I didn't see Sharif Cooper. Good. I saw the lowlights.
Not the highlights.
No. So that's
All right.
my thoughts. On Sharif
Anyone else later? Anyone else? Or we kind of done now with the. Or
Cooper.
we could talk Jericho. Jericho was looking good for the Knicks in the summer league.
Yeah. I would like to say one thing about BJ Boston. That man is getting paid over
Oh my
$2.5 million a year
And he was what, the 50 something pick?
for averaging 11 points on like 30% shooting in 1 year of college.
Bro, if
I mean,
who'd he sign with?
the net or not the Nets,
The Pelicans?
the Pelicans.
If the Pelicans wanted to give someone, I could do that for way less money.
Yeah, yeah.
Nah.
Dylan could be on the Pelicans.
I could-
for $20 in a Milky Way.
Oh God.
I would take a Milky Way.
All right. Anyone else later on? I mean, Aaron Wiggins was solid in his debut, but I'm not gonna really say anything. I don't know much about him. I like Jericho Sims. He's very athletic. Thought he was good in his Knicks debut.
I think that last Knicks pick was a solid pick. I don't know. He's bouncy.
Yeah,
He can
he's
jump high.
bouncy.
Just the paw. But yeah, I mean that's really most of our thoughts on this draft summary.
All right. Well, we want to get into our. You want to do winners and losers? I think that's a great way to continue the draft talk. All right. Well, we're gonna start with the winners as always. My biggest draft winner is the Hornets, getting Book Knight, Kai Jones, and JT Thor's a solid pick in the second. Just crazy.
I agree.
The Hornets had a crazy draft.
They definitely had probably the best draft.
Some of the other winners I had were like the Rockets. I had the Hawks because I like the Sharif Cooper pick, even though you don't. The Warriors getting Kuminga and Moses Moody. Had the Nets for their late round picks. I like Sharp and Cam Thomas. You don't that much. You like Cam Thomas, but not Daron Sharp. I had the Pistons because if you get Cade Cunningham, you instantly win the draft.
That's true.
And then I thought the Clippers had a great pick with Keon, so I put them as like a not as much winner, but still a winner.
Say that one. I didn't think you were going to say that. Basically the same exact thing.
Yeah.
I like the Rockets, what they did.
Mm-hmm.
Golden State, I think they had the second best draft, honestly. Right ahead of the Rockets.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I'm not – if the Rockets would have not taken Josh Christopher, there's not many guys I would have picked.
They could have gone like Cam Thomas, though. That would have been a better – he's better than Josh Christopher.
You could pick either one.
Yeah.
And then I was also going to say who was it? The Clippers.
I said the Clippers.
No, I'm
yeah.
saying I was also going to say the Clippers because I think they came in and snagged Keon, and I think he could be a great player for them.
Yeah.
Help them defensively
Mm-hmm.
and with some athleticism.
Yeah.
And yeah, I like that pick.
All right. Well, I'll start the losers off. The Thunder were losers of the draft. Giddey at 6. I like Giddey. He's way too early, though, at 6, in my opinion. I could see him at like 10, 11. And then Trey Mann at 18 was the most atrocious pick I've ever seen. Watching that made me want to slowly seep into darkness. That is the worst player I think I've ever watched in the Summer League last night. Me saying this on the 11th, he's going to drop like 40 points or something. But I do not like the Trey Mann pick at all. Again, in the second round, I do like Jeremiah Robinson-Earl. And Aaron Wiggins was solid, but I still think we're losers based off of taking Giddey that early and then Trey Mann ahead of Kai Jones.
Yeah.
Another team I had as a loser, I hate to do this, but I had the Spurs.
So our two teams.
Yeah. Primo that early. Well, seeing Primo go off the board that early, I could feel your pain.
Yeah, I didn't feel anything.
Another team I had as a loser, I had the Kings just because I think Davion Mitchell's not the right pick for them in the direction that they're headed and with their backcourt being as crowded as it is. The Grizzlies taking Zaire Williams that early. Again, I had them as a loser. And then the Wizards going Corey Kispert when they need to go with someone who has a higher ceiling.
Yeah, I'm going to pick – I'm not, like, hating on the Magic draft. I just think they could have taken a better pick at 8.
Yeah.
Because there were a lot of good players on the board.
Would you go Jalen Johnson at 8? Would you go him that early?
I was gonna say Jalen Johnson. I'd say they should have traded that pick down
and get Jalen Johnson later in the lottery.
And a future asset plus Suggs. That would have been a great draft.
Mm-hmm.
The Wizards. That didn't make sense.
Yeah.
That's rough.
Mm-hmm.
Pacers. They didn't lose, but they didn't win.
Yeah.
I mean, they got a solid guy, but they still have Karis LeVert, right?
Yeah, they do.
I mean, I don't know. This guy could be all right, but maybe he could help him to a 7 or 8 seed.
Yeah,
does nothing.
Yeah,
being playing.
Being mediocre in the NBA, you don't want to be mediocre.
The only time you want to be mediocre is if you have a really young team.
Exactly.
Because then you're going on the right track.
Mm-hmm.
If you have veterans leading your team,
you don't want to be mediocre.
You do not want to be mediocre. And like Sabonis and Turner and Brogdon, they're all still fairly young, but they're all what they are.
Yeah,
they're peaked
for
the most part.
Yeah.
What
would you think if Moses Moody and Chris Duarte were switched in their picks? Moody goes to the Pacers, a higher ceiling player, but he can still help them.
I would have liked that.
And then dude who basically is already as good as he's going to be,
dude,
and Duarte goes to the Warriors.
That
would have been better fits.
Very smart take right there. I like that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Although, that makes a lot more sense if you think about it. I don't know why those teams can just do that.
Mhm.
But Warriors, it's probably what the Warriors were going to do. And then they're like, oh, they just gave us some Moses Moody.
Exactly.
Thanks.
Mm-hmm. Moses Moody and Jonathan Kuminga were deadly in their debut. That was crazy.
They were good. They are good players.
Mm-hmm. All right. Do you want to? Man, we're only 40 minutes into this. We could probably fit free agency in here too.
Probably.
All right. Well, you want to go summer league or free agency first?
Summer league.
All right. We're going to go into some of the summer league news. Again, it's only one day in, so there's not a ton, but it still gives us something to talk about. A lot of these high picks had their debuts, and some second-year players looks like they've made strides in their game. The first game was the Hawks versus the Celtics. Of course, Jalen Johnson, 20-10, solid debut with Atlanta. I need to pull up some of the box score stuff to see who else, because
I know,
have this in my notes.
Cade only had 12 points.
Did you not watch much of the summer league?
I didn't watch much the first day,
I don't
but
know.
I know he had 12 points. Mobley also had 12
Yeah.
points. Jalen Green, though, he looks really good.
Mhm.
And
Oh, yeah, Jalen Green looked very good. 50% shooting, 4 of 9 from 3, 23 points.
yeah, he looked great out there. Kuminga obviously looked good in their summer league.
Yeah.
Davion Mitchell, I don't know if you watched him play.
Oh, no, he looked good. He looked good.
Great.
It's just how is he going to fit in that backcourt with Halliburton, De'Aaron Fox, Buddy Hield. He's going to have to find – I guess he has that backup point guard role, but they're probably going to play Tyrese at the 1 some, not just at the 2.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see.
My guy Josh Primo looked good.
Mm-hmm.
He did.
Josh Giddey looked good for one play, and
Yeah.
then he sprained his ankle. So that'll be fun watching Teo Maladon carry the Thunder
Yeah,
Summer League
That's
team.
not a bad player.
It's not. Teo's great. I see a lot of Tony Parker in Teo. All right.
It's because he's French.
Yeah, nah. He actually kind of plays like Tony Parker. Not gonna
So
lie.
you can compare him to Tony if I can compare Primo to Shea.
Okay, stop.
That's
fine.
That's probably more realistic than Tony Parker for a second-round pick or wherever you pick.
Early second round.
Yeah. So
Hey, he led our team in minutes, but he's already Teo Maladon led the Thunder in minutes last
that's
year.
not a good thing.
I know it's not. All right, back to the Celtics game. Some second-year players did look really good. Like Peyton Pritchard had 23.
Okay.
He wasn't super efficient, but he had 23 points.
Did the Celtics play?
The Hawks. They played the
Yeah,
Hawks. The
I
Celtics played
think
the Hawks.
he's the one who broke Sharif. Then
God.
I need to pull that up.
Pull up the clip. Yeah, he went 7 of 15 from 3. 15 of his 18 shots were 3-pointers.
Sharif Cooper
He gets dropped. First thing that comes up. I heard Yam Madar. Isn't that the dude's name? He looks solid for the Celtics. Romeo Langford, he shot 3 of 7 from 3.
Yeah. What do you think about Langford?
I think he's solid. Again, if they're trying to, I think the Celtics are attempting to contend. How are you going to get him minutes? And he's pretty raw. All right, Sharif Styling. He was 5 of 11 with 11 points. 1 from 3. Oh, jeez.
And then he proceeded to go down an air ball. And I would love to see that. I might have to just pull up the TikTok at this point.
Pull up the TikTok.
It was embarrassing.
Isn't Jordan Bell the dude who used to play for the Warriors? He's playing for the Hawks Summer League team.
Yeah, he was a pretty good guy, and then he kind of just never did anything after a while.
Yeah. Jalen Johnson, 8 of 12, 1 of 2 from 3, 3 of 5 from the free throw line, 20-10. And then he had 5 turnovers, so that's kind of
Jalen Johnson.
Yeah.
I don't like turnovers are gonna happen though
Yeah.
in the summer league for these young guys.
Yeah.
I'm not concerned about that.
Mm-hmm.
That was a good pick.
All right. The next game was the Raptors versus the Toronto Raptors versus the New York Knicks, and Scotty Barnes' debut was insane.
Yeah.
He wasn't super efficient, but he was still very good in his debut. 18, 10, and 5.
He was hitting some jumpers too.
Mm-hmm. I saw that 3 he hit.
That pull up 3.
Yep.
You see what he said?
Nah.
Okay. No, but that's an encouraging sign for Scotty because if he's getting that jumper going,
Mm-hmm.
I saw a highlight of him just picking a dude on a crossover.
Yep.
I mean, that's what he's gonna do.
Mhm.
His length, he looked huge.
Oh yeah, no,
He
did.
looked giant.
It's because he is giant.
And with his skills, playmaking, if he can shoot, he's gonna be great. That's
Mhm.
why I gave him such a high grade.
Yeah.
Because I like him a lot.
And to go along with him, isn't it Malachi Flynn, the second year
Yeah.
player? He
Is
was
he second year?
I think he's second year. He's playing.
I feel like I've seen that dude for a while.
8 of 13, 4 of 5 from 3, 23 points.
He's a shooter.
He is a shooter.
Malachi
Malachi Flynn was very good for the Raptors
I feel like
yesterday.
he's pretty old. Like
He probably is.
like not necessarily years in the league old, but
just
like,
old,
just
like,
old
like
age.
Maybe
Maybe
Duarte.
might be like a 26-year-old. I don't know. He might be.
hmm And then they played the Knicks. Again, Obi Toppin looked like he's actually showing some promise to maybe be good one day. 10 of 21, 2 of 10 from 3. That was horrendous. But he did have 24 points and 8 rebounds. He did shoot a lot, though.
Obi really should dominate the summer league just because of
Yeah.
his athleticism
Mhm.
and his physical abilities. But yeah,
Mhm.
I wouldn't put too much into
Summer
him,
league, yeah.
To him, I do put some stuff into summer league, especially for guards.
Mhm.
I don't know about Obi, but he's balling right now.
Yeah.
That's good.
Jericho Sims, their last pick, 6 of 6 from the field,
Well,
12
dunks.
points. No, he had a little floater, 12 points, 8 rebounds. And then, of course, Nick's favorites, Emmanuel Quickly. Again, his shooting was horrendous.
Wait, Quickly's playing.
Quickly's playing in the summer
What do
league.
you have?
He was 5 of 17, 2 of 11 from 3, 15 points, 8 assists, 6 rebounds, 3 turnovers.
It's kind of rough.
His shooting was horrendous, but he looks okay. Their first pick, Quentin Grimes, was 3 of 11, 3 of 8 from 3. So, yeah. Again, Obi looked like he might eventually be something, but you never know. Next game was the Blazers and the Hornets, and this one we have to talk about a lot because of one reason, and that is LiAngelo Ball.
Yeah, he had 16.
Yep, he was strapped. He had the strap. 5 of 8 from 3, solid for his debut. Actually, that's really good for his debut. I did not think he would be that good in his debut. I don't even know if he's going to play, to be honest, in their first game.
Yeah, he was good. He was hitting some threes.
Mm-hmm.
I will not lie.
But, of course, the talk of – actually, no, he was the talk, and that overshadowed people like James Bouknight, who had 19 on 50% shooting, and Kai Jones, who wasn't efficient, but he had 10 rebound, double-double.
Yeah.
And then, of course, they played the Blazers, but there's not really anyone to talk about on the Blazers. I mean, Kenneth Faried got banged on by –
Kenneth Faried, how is he in the G League or in the summer league?
he used to be good, and
He was on Team USA,
now he's in the summer league.
and then he disappeared for 10. How old is he?
I have no clue. But look at their there's some of the, like
He had
Kenneth
19 though.
Faried-
I mean,
Kenneth Faried had 19. That's his plus minus. He had 8 points.
Oh, yeah. Well, he had a good impact on the game.
Well, yeah, they won by 20. I hope he'd have a good impact
I don't know
on the
who
game.
Blakeney is, but I heard. Yeah, I mean, he had 20. He had 19 in the fourth or
Yeah,
something.
that's crazy.
He was good.
No, they're running people out like Kenneth Faried, Emmanuel Mudiay, and fucking Michael
Hey.
Beasley.
Kenneth Faried and Michael Beasley plus 20 plus minus. Hey, I think they're trying to win the summer league.
They're trying to win.
They
the
just
summer
trying to
league.
win the summer league. They trying to win.
Yeah, I
something.
mean, Greg Brown played solid, but that's about. I mean, I thought Nasir Little was on their summer league team.
Nah, I guess not.
I thought
He
was.
should be because he doesn't really play for the Blazers
Yeah.
that much. That would make sense.
Yeah. All right. Well, the next game is probably the one that was talked about most was the Rockets and Cavs, the number 2 pick and the number 3 pick facing off against each other.
Yeah.
Evan Mobley and Jalen Green. We kind of covered that already with Jalen Green dominating. Evan Mobley looked okay, I
He
guess.
didn't look bad.
He didn't look bad, but there was nothing special from him. Again, Isaac Okoro looked solid. He had 17.
He was doing good.
Yeah. The Wizards' Pacers game got postponed, so we didn't get to see the young
Oh no, we didn't get to
the-
see those two play.
the young stars and Corey Kispert and Chris Duarte.
Jeez.
All right.
Next game they'll both have 40.
Exactly.
Both look dumb.
Exactly. That's what's going to happen with Trey Mann. He's calling him the most atrocious pick in the draft. That was the next game. The Thunder and the Pistons, of course. It was talked about because of the Cade Cunningham debut. As a Thunder fan, I wanted to see the Josh Giddey debut, but that did not happen.
Took away from
Yeah. Watching the John B lookalike go down on the court just made me sad. Yeah,
John B.
You are John B.
I'm John B.
Again, Jeremiah Robinson Earl was solid. Teo Maledon was solid. Trey Mann needs to quit playing basketball.
Jeez.
Aaron Wiggins was solid. No one played amazing. But hey, we won, I guess.
Hey, it's all that matters.
Oh, yeah, I have to ask you something about something. Last year's draft, you said if the Spurs took Sadiq Bey at what pick did you guys have?
I'd be mad.
Yeah, you said
And
you'd
I
be
still
mad.
would be.
You don't like Sadiq Bey still?
No, I like him, but I'll tell you. Okay, I'll talk about the Spurs. I guess I'll talk about the Spurs summer league. Devin Vassell.
Mm-hmm.
Devin Vassell, I don't talk about nearly as much as I should. Devin had a great game. He played only in 2 games, but in his second game, he had 27.
Oh, okay.
And he's a shooter, right?
Mhm.
Like, that's all he could do coming out of college.
Yeah,
He is
more than a shooter.
He is so much more than a shooter. He's learned from DeMar DeRozan, you can tell, in a good way,
Mm-hmm.
in the sense that he knows how to use his body, go off pick and rolls, and, like, just rise up in the mid-range.
Yeah.
And that's something where, with his release and his length, it's
Mhm.
tough to block him, and he could really be a secondary ball handler and creator for himself. And so yes, I'm glad we took Devin over Sadiq, even though his stats were way better. He's on the Pistons.
Well, yeah, he's on the Pistons. Anyone's stats would be better. That's why no one wanted to sign Christian Wood because I thought it was just because he's on the Pistons.
Yeah, but I like Christian.
Oh, I love Christian Wood.
So
Carried me in fantasy basketball.
did he know?
Him and
You
Shea.
didn't win. I beat you. I
We
think I
didn't talk
knocked you
about
out.
that. Yeah, because Christian Wood was hurt and Shea was hurt.
Tough.
We didn't talk about that. But yeah, Sadiq Bey had a solid performance last night, going 6 of 13, 2 of 4 from 3.
Why is he in the summer league? He
Bro, they ran-
He literally started. They ran their starting. lineup.
That's why I said they ran their
Was
starting
Stewart
lineup.
in it?
What? No, he didn't play. He's hurt. He's hurt still.
But he's on the team.
Oh yeah, he's on the team. Look at him down there on the bottom of the roster, Isaiah Stewart.
And they have Killian.
Yep. They ran out a starting lineup of Cade, Killian, Sekou Doumbouya, Sadiq Bey, and then Tyler Cook.
Third year.
I think no, it's his second year, isn't
You
it?
Sure.
I have no. Yeah, it is.
Might
This,
be.
this was his. No, it is.
No,
This
it's
is his third year.
Yeah. Why is he even on?
Because he's not good. That's
I
why
know,
he's on the team.
So what did Killian do?
Killian 2 of 6, 0 of 2 from 3. Yeah,
I loved Killian coming out of the draft, but then the Pistons took him. They messed him up.
Well, it was the Pistons or the Knicks, and let's be honest, if he was on the Knicks, the same thing probably would have happened.
He'd be a little better.
He'd be playing behind Elfrid Payton.
Well, Elfrid Payton is horrible.
But yeah, the
Elfrid
main
Payton is no longer on the Knicks.
yeah the main is Frank not on the Knicks either now?
No,
No more Frank Ntilikina.
no more Frank.
Yeah, the main talk of this game though was Cade Cunningham. Again, his performance was not what people thought it would be. He started out hot, making 2 of his first 3 threes, and then
And it's just
cooled
his first
off
game.
hardcore. Yeah, it's his
probably
first
a little-
game.
A little nervous.
Yeah.
I don't know. Something.
People were after seeing Jalen Green though. People were expecting a Jalen Green-esque performance, but that just didn't happen. He'll bounce back though. He's gonna probably score like 30 in his next game, knowing Cade.
So wait, did the Knicks play the Pacers already today?
Yeah, they did.
What did Duarte have?
I don't know. I can check.
Check.
I can go in order.
No, I'll check that. You keep
All
going
right.
with that.
The next 2 games are kind of not needed to be talked about. I guess I can. The Heat and the Nuggets, again, their young cores for the Heat and the Nuggets are non-existent. Bol was living at the free throw line. I think he was like 5 of 14.
Okay, so with this game, Duarte had 14. He shot 3 for 7 from 3, which is good.
Mm-hmm.
4 for 8 overall. Quickly had 32 points.
Quickly at 32 today.
On 11 for 21.
What about Obi?
Obi had 22. That's
Solid.
that's what you want to see from those two, right?
Mhm.
Grimes had 17. Sims
Oh.
had 16.
Jeez. What was the
Yeah.
final score?
I think it was 94 to 86.
Oh, jeez.
So that's what you want to see out of the Knicks young guys. So that's
Yeah.
good.
Any Knicks fans should be happy to see that stuff because Obi's probably gonna be backing up Julius Randle this year.
Yeah, I don't know about how I feel about that. But we'll see.
But yeah, the final two games from yesterday were the Heat and the Nuggets, which they don't really have anyone young besides. I guess Bol Bol's interesting because he's Bol Bol.
I like Bol Bol. He's fun to watch.
Let me read you this Bol Bol stat line real quick. 5 of 14, 0 of 3 from 3, 11 of 14 from the free throw line.
Oh boy.
21 points, 5 rebounds, 2 blocks, 6 turnovers.
Jeez.
He was solid, but I mean,
I saw one of his little breakaway dunks where he was going for a lob, but he threw it at his chest and then he just caught it and just put it in over. It was pretty Bol to me.
yeah. Well, the thing with the Heat summer league team is I was looking to Omer Yurtseven or something like that playing. I think that's how you pronounce it. He was on the Thunder G League team during their bubble or whatever. We didn't sign him. We probably should have. He signed with the Heat. He did not play though. So yeah, the Heat, that game was kind of boring. The Heat blew him out by 20. All right. The next game was the Lakers and the Suns. Like Jalen Smith, he looked solid, 15 and 12.
Yeah, I like Jalen Smith. I wouldn't have taken him 10th though
No.
last year at all.
They could have used a big dude in the playoffs though, but even then, I don't think Jalen Smith would have
He wasn't-
performed
he
against
wasn't ready,
Giannis.
though,
Yeah.
like that. But I don't think they expected to be that good
Yeah.
last year. So
The highlight of that game though was Mac McClung hit a clutch jump shot, and then Austin Reeves hit a game winner.
yeah,
But then
Trey Murphy,
it's a
right?
summer league. Which one?
the guy who just made that 3,
I wasn't looking that close.
he bottom corner.
Yeah, that's Trey Murphy. So yeah, the Bulls and the Pelicans are playing right now. I think Patrick Williams had 14 and 9 at half, or something like that. AO
Patrick
Stroud
Williams did.
Yeah, 14 and 9 at half, or something like that.
He should be dominating this. I
Yeah.
don't. I feel like he started for the Bulls for at least.
He did.
Yeah. So I don't understand.
Oh,
the purpose
geez.
of that, but
Isn't it Najee Marshall or something like that? Didn't they take him last year? Yeah, 8 of 11
he's
right now.
balling.
Yep, 16.
Who was
Pure-
18?
Hmm?
Who was 18?
Who's 18? I have no clue. Some random white dude. It's one of these two dudes who have freaking European last
Yeah.
names. Yeah, Patrick Williams has 14. Had
He's
4.
Blocking shots
Mm-hmm.
and Trey Murphy. His jumper looks good.
No, it is. He's a great
He's
3-and-D
tall.
player. All right. Well, that's all the summer league stuff. Do you want to? It's at an hour. Do you want to stop it and then go into a free agency one?
Yeah.
All right. We're gonna end this one here, but we're gonna go straight into a free agency live stream or podcast because that's gonna probably last a lot longer than this one. I have like some of the big stuff
There's
written down,
so much
but there's
stuff
so
to
much
talk
stuff.
about.
So we're gonna end this one here. We're gonna start the free agency one. So I guess we'll be right back. I guess.
Oh my.
Whoa.